Welcome to AutoSave. My name is Nick Andrade, and I'm here with my co-host, as always, Camille Salazar Hadaway, as I like to space out her name every time I say it. On this episode, we begin our journey through the next game that we're playing, and of course, if you know by the title of this episode, we are doing Bioshock.
Wait, did you know what we were doing just now?
Yeah, what? I didn't do anything.
You paused right before you were like, we are doing... Wait, let me find my notes here. Let me search. Bioshock, it's Bioshock.
I just paused for dramatic effect, just like I do on Camille Salazar Hadaway.
That's fair.
Yes.
I'm just so excited to hop into a new game. I couldn't wait.
Me too. And this is our 10th game in our podcast history. We have done 10 games, Cam.
I feel like I'm 10 games old, if that makes sense.
It does. It's just our repertoire. We've known each other for 2 years.
I know. Wow.
And you hate me now. It's crazy. Like,
What?
time
No,
flies.
never. I was just more like, how did you survive all of this? The Camille Salazar Hadaway-ness of myself. Like,
Same. We're just too, like, we have no confidence, clearly.
I know.
That's what we're telling each other. We think everyone hates us. Welcome to AutoSave. Whoa.
We're very relatable here.
We are. But everyone, we'll stop rambling and want to say welcome to Bioshock. So Cam, how do you feel about us doing Bioshock as the next game? Because as I just found out just now, you have never played Bioshock before.
How did we not talk about, like, I promise you, everyone listening, we do have a process here in AutoSave. We do meet to plan these out. But how did we not even realize, like, I never knew you played it before. I've never played it. And we just found this out as we're heading to this record when we've talked about this game and planning it out.
Yes.
For a while now.
I think it's a good thing, though, whenever we do play games where one of us has not played it and one of us has, I feel like we have good perspectives as we move into it. So in this case, I have played it. Cam has not. The one that I can think of off the top of my head is Zelda Skyward Sword. You played and I did not. So you get a fresh perspective here where you have someone who has not played the game yet, and you have someone who has. So obviously there will be no spoilers, but it's good to see that you'll kind of go through this game for the first time and kind of figure out what happens, which I'm excited for, to see it through your lens.
I'm excited to jump in because my perspective of Bioshock is, well, it's very popular.
Yeah.
I know, like, what it means for gaming, but why I never played it before is because it kind of seems spooky. And I don't like playing spooky games, especially like the little, because on the box art, I remember you have like that big mech and then the little girl that like has the creepy eyes.
Yeah.
And that's an immediate sign to put down the game. But you, Nick, and our producer, Dylan, convinced me otherwise. So if I don't like this game, it's on both of you. That's all I'm saying.
I think it'll be hard to not like this game because it was, in 2007, it was the game of the year. So, again, which is why I'm surprised you haven't played it because, you know, we grew up around the same time. But I don't like spooky games either. So I was hesitant to play this game back in 2000. I think I played this game in 2008 or 2009. I'm not entirely sure. I got the PS3 a lot later than everyone else. This game did come out on Xbox 360, PS3, and PC as well. But I got it late because I got the PS3 a little later than most people. And I had a Game of the Year edition that came with the PlayStation 3, and my brother had bought it for me because he said, "Hey, this game is really good. You should try it." And when I saw the box art, like you said, I was also skeptical and hesitant. And as we go through this game, immediately you'll see that it's creepy. And when I first started playing the game, I thought, I don't know if this is for me. But I powered through, and I'm happy that I did. So I think you will be in for a good time as well.
I'm hoping as well. If I don't cry and scream and then just turn off my TV and throw my console, throw my Xbox just out of the window because I'm too scared. But, you know, like, I think it is because it's a first-person shooter. Like, I always was interested in playing it, but the spooky thing always turned me off the game. So I guess here we are now playing the game. It's also a shorter game than we've covered recently,
Yes.
which I guess gives us a little bit of a break.
It does. After we did a little bit ago God of War Ragnarok, which was a very long game. Our episodes were almost 2 hours long.
And then Jedi Fallen Order was a little longer, yeah.
And it's nice to get into like a quicker game that, again, it has a huge impact on gaming. And I think first-person shooters as a creative outlet rather than, you know, something like Call of Duty and Counter-Strike and all those games, which is just a shooter first. This is very much a creative, artistic type game.
Approach, yeah. Like
Yes.
to the adventure of a shooter. Because I will say, Call of Duty has some pretty good campaigns, just no one in the community plays them.
It does, but I'm just saying it's like about war. This is about totally
different.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the whole aesthetic, I think, like that steampunk, if you could call it that, look of, you know, all the art that I've seen out of Bioshock for not playing the game, but like hearing about it a lot is interesting as well.
So little known facts about it. It was created by Ken Levine, who based it on after seeing the Rockefeller Center in New York and saw, you know, it was made in the 30s, kind of very, I guess for its time, it was a little different. And especially the money that they put into it compared to like all the poor people that were in New York. I think he wanted to somehow tie those two things in. It was also published, I was surprised, by 2K Games. Because when I think of 2K, I don't think of Bioshock.
You think sports.
This was done by Irrational Games, which is Ken Levine's studio. There's 3 games in this series, by the way. There's Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. Bioshock Infinite is a different story. There was super hype on that because, again, Bioshock 1 was an incredible game, that won Game of the Year. There is potential for a Bioshock 4. Apparently, it's officially in the works, and it's being developed by 2K. However, Ken Levine is not a part of the game. He is, however, creating a game called Judas that we saw in 2022 that literally looks like Bioshock.
It looks exactly like Bioshock. and like props to Ken Levine because obviously him and his team is more creative than anything I could put out.
Yeah.
But looking at the list of games that they have here, I think Bioshock's their income, you know? So, I mean, anything that looks similar to Bioshock is probably going to do good. That's what they know to do well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hopefully Judas maybe it's like Judas Bioshock continuation.
I mean, I'm down for that. I haven't played Bioshock since Bioshock Infinite in, 2013, 2014?
Ooh, this is going to be interesting because then you know the full how the story goes. So I feel like when we wrap up the saga of AutoSave, the Bioshock saga, you're going to have to give us a little insight because I don't think we'll probably be playing future games, but like in terms of if the game gets better, you know, like I'm curious to know, but I do have to dive into the game first in order to know what to expect in the future.
The audience is going to have to stick around for all 9 episodes to find out, 1, if you like it, and 2, you know, what's next for the franchise. I have no idea. Cam, I have a question of the day for you.
Ooh, wait. I thought we went through the question of the day. You're just all questioning.
What was the question?
Questioning it. I don't know. About Bioshock and our experience with Bioshock.
That was just me wanting to know your experience. Now,
okay, fair.
That's over with. Now we have the question of the day.
Ooh, okay. Drum roll, please.
So we are going to travel to the world of Rapture, which is an underwater city. There's a lot going on here, which we'll find out as we play this chapter 1. But how would you feel, Cam, if you were stuck in an underwater city / would you actually live in an underwater city? Because I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't, because 1, I can't swim. I don't know how to swim. So if something happens, I'm
reasonable.
Automatically dead.
Yeah.
And 2, that just sounds like a bad idea. We've seen in the last game we played, Jedi Fallen Order. What happens? There's cracks inside one of one of the buildings, and then the water comes through. How do you know that's not going to happen? Okay. How do you know?
How do you know? And that's exactly why I wouldn't live in an underwater city. Also, have you ever been on a cruise, Nick?
No, and I don't think I'll ever go on a cruise, to be honest.
Oh, do you get seasick?
No, I don't get I like boats.
Okay.
But you know what, cruises, this is a whole other conversation.
Oh, a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to fill me in some other time, maybe on
Yeah.
socials for everyone out there to hear about it. But cruise ships sometimes smell of like that moldy, like watery, like if you had, say, a blanket sitting in water for a long time and then it starts to smell musty and like moldy. That's how I picture the whole underwater city smelling. Like there's no way that this beautiful world of Bioshock with all of its carpet, there's a lot of carpet in Bioshock.
There is. You're right.
There's a lot of carpet. Okay. And then also the steam coming out of some of these, like the mech characters that we'll talk about in this episode. That just, where's the air going? How is it? I don't get it. So it would smell a lot. Also, the smell of blood, just being in that enclosed. Where's the breeze to really like breathe that out?
I think you're spoiling a little too much right now.
Am I? I don't know. Like, well, we know there's going to be, it's a shooter. There will be killing in this.
How do you know?
In this game.
What if we just have to prance around with unicorns? I don't know about that.
But yeah, I think like because of that, and then also the safety. What are the safety precautions if there is that crack in a wall or while you're sleeping?
Yeah.
How do you escape? Plus, there's a lot of water out there on Earth and a lot of things that we don't know about the creatures underwater. How deep are we living here? Like, am I going to see those unknown creatures that I really don't want to see? Like, there's too much unknown here for me to feel comfortable and sleep at night. So no, I will never live under the water in a city under the water.
It just seems like a lot could go wrong. Like your chance of dying goes up significantly.
I don't even know the benefits. Like, I don't know the benefits.
The mustiness makes sense. And that's part of the reason why I don't go on cute cruises too. It just seems like, fair. Musty.
Yeah.
Apart from me not being able to swim. So if someone throws me overboard, I'm done.
Yeah.
I shouldn't give the audience this much information.
No, I know now they're coming after you, but it is also very deep. Like this city looks very deep under the water. So even if you could swim like myself, I'm probably going to lose air from holding my breath like for 2 seconds because I won't be able to swim that fast, that high up.
See, these are all valid reasons.
Valid.
All valid. And this is why we asked the question of the day, because we got to know these things. That's it. And now we know we wouldn't live underwater. Of course, if you are new to the franchise and what it's all about, we are going to follow the main character, Jack, and his adventure through the underwater city of Rapture. There are probably going to be some scary twists and turns. As Cam said, she doesn't like scary games. So we'll see what happens. But first, let's get into it here next on AutoSave.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
(1960) Mid-Atlantic Ocean. On a plane, we meet Jack, who, the most important thing I thought about here was how ugly his fingernails were. They looked like they were popping out of his fingers.
Oh my God.
I know a lot happened that's more important, but
they're not even that bad.
They were pretty bad.
Actually.
Why are they so round?
I think it's not the roundness of his nails.
What is it?
It's the fact that, like, I think he's a nail biter.
You think he's a nail biter?
Yeah, because if you're playing this along with us, which you probably are, go back to or just like look on, online at this opening scene, because the nails are not evenly cut and they're rigid. That's what it is. He's a nail biter.
I was more concerned about how big they were. They just seemed way too big for his fingers.
That's just mean. Some people have bigger nails than other people, but he could control the fact that he's a nail biter, okay? And like, that's gross. And he's smoking.
Yes,
That's
which
awesome.
Again, that probably is not good for his fingernails, but that's another story. This is not the most important thing, but it's the thing that caught my eye first, okay? So don't give me a hard time about this. But he's on a plane cam that seems, I guess, to go down. You hear screaming in the background. Looks like it's going down in right in between the Atlantic Ocean. Was probably not good for anyone on board. But we hear from our main character, Jack, who I gotta say, for some reason, he has a present from his parents that say, "Love from mom and dad, would you kindly not open until," but we don't see what that until is. It's interesting, though, why he has a present on a plane. I don't necessarily get it, but I'm intrigued by this game as the Bioshock comes up, the title underwater. It seems really cool. For you who hasn't played it before, how did you feel about this quick little scene right away? Were you surprised at how quickly it took off?
Okay, firstly, I guess I erased the nail thing from my head, but I didn't realize he was on a plane.
What did you think he was on?
I don't know. I was like, is he on a train? I don't
heard
know.
it go.
I know. After, that's when I knew, but at first I didn't know because it's so dark. It's so dark.
Right.
Right. And I didn't realize until, the plane went down that it's nighttime. So it was kind of confusing to me because like it just looked, I don't know. Is he in the middle aisle? Is he on the side aisle? Like, what is the shape of this plane?
I mean, it looks like just a one-seater.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't realize he was on this plane. But yes, he has the present from his parents.
Yes.
Right? My thing is, why wouldn't they want him to open his present? Like just right away. You're giving it to him.
Until what? Maybe they get to the destination?
Or I don't know. But it's like if I'm giving someone a present, I don't care if it's before your birthday, after your birthday. You open that present in front of me. I bought that. I deserve to see your reaction. That's my thing.
Wow,
like,
very aggressive.
I'm very aggressive when it comes to presents.
I'm going to open my present now, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. You got to open it in front of the person that's giving it to you or else it's not worth it. But yeah, it's very quickly because I was like, oh, okay, like he's going to get off this plane and just walk away. And then it was like, bam, crash. So it's like putting us into this chaos, which I mean, a lot of good stories start off with that because there's lots of questions to be answered. And I like how they don't give us all the answers right away.
Yes, and also shout out to showing the Bioshock logo way earlier than most games. Most games, like you do like a 30-minute mission and then they go with the music and then it shows the title screen. But they just went in right away. So kudos to Bioshock. When we then find Jack in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean surrounded by the burning plane, it looks like he survived somehow. And we swim to what we see as a giant lighthouse in the middle of the ocean. That's pretty strange that it's just miraculously there, but okay. We step inside this eerie place. There's a banner inside that says, "No gods or kings, only man," with a giant golden statue of a man. To me, this feels like some dystopian place. You hear some like 1940s creepy music. What's your thoughts on what you see initially in this lighthouse, I guess I would call it?
This just gives me weird vibes. It kind of seems like it's not real as well. Mm-hmm. When I was looking at this, I was like, is this real? I don't know. And I even I forgot, don't judge me, but I forgot we were in the mid-Atlantic because that first title screen, it's mid-Atlantic. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait, is this the Bermuda Triangle? Because where's this statue coming from? It just seems so out of left field, right? It's just not like it belongs because there's no other buildings. It's just this one tall building and statue. I really like being in the water though. Me and you are playing the remastered version. And for that, you're seeing because I don't think it's raining, but it's the water. I guess like maybe from debris kicking it off, but it's like splashing onto the screen and it looks like those little droplets look so crisp. The weird part is like when you're swimming around in water, it's like you're zooming across the water rather than swimming in it.
Yeah, but that's so many, especially in that era, there's so many games.
Well,
like
that's
that.
the thing. I think it's just like there's reminders in here right off the top that this game is a little bit older.
Yes.
But I had lots of fun with doing that. Like I wasn't even complaining. I liked the simplicity of it. It was just a refreshing break.
Yeah.
From like what we're used to. But I really don't know what's going on here. Is this a cult? Like who's this guy?
We jump in an elevator that takes us all the way down to the bottom of the ocean.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose Rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, Rapture can become your city as well.
So welcome to Rapture as we get a little message from the creator of this underwater city, Andrew Ryan, who seemed to be fed up with the way America was run, so he created his own quote-unquote paradise down below. Cam, what do you think about Andrew Ryan? Because to me, it's giving off dystopian vibes. We talked about a cult. It's almost like, again, it's someone who was fed up with the system and wanted to create his own system. We hear about like scientists not bound to morality and stuff like that. Just seems like you could do whatever you want in this free city.
Andrew Ryan, crazy. He sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Also, how like he must have been really wealthy, right? Like he's giving me like rich guy, could do anything, money at his disposal. Completely that vibe. Obviously upset at the world and how it's been handled. But usually that's like some, Dr. Frankenstein thing where it's like you have too many questions and you think you found the solution, but you probably made a worse problem.
Yeah.
So already like I'm being prepared and going into this like, something's going to happen. I don't like being in this enclosed elevator.
Right.
And like being also like swept through like these different, like it looks beautiful, the city, right? Like you're seeing all the different buildings and all the creatures that are underneath as well, but it seems too good to be true. It seems like it's not quite the underwater paradise that Andrew might say it is, because it seems very quiet.
My thoughts exactly. Let's see what happens. But I also want to bring up the advertisement we see while we're traveling down. It probably could have a lot of impact here. It's fire at your fingertips. So what we see in that advertisement is that this man has power on his fingertip. It's basically fire, like I said, fire on your fingertips, and he's lighting a cigarette. And what it says is the Plasmids by Ryan Industries. So I'm guessing that there's some sort of power that you can possess in this.
I never even noticed that.
City. You didn't?
This era, everyone's smoking. I didn't realize he wasn't holding a cigarette.
Yes, he was lighting the cigarette with his finger.
The cigarette, and it's incinerate, which is also like you're hearing him talk about like how he's tired of, how the world is, and it says incinerate. Like, is this more like of a haven because he wants to like he thinks the world is going to be burnt and like down, like he thinks that the end of the world's coming? Is he a doomsday cult leader?
Because they talk about the Soviet Union here too, so it's probably like he probably thought that there's going to be some sort of nuclear fallout, which makes sense to why they have a city in the ocean. Just clicked in right now. Boom.
Oh, Oh.
See, we're here for history lessons too. Look at that.
Yeah, we are.
We also see in the distance a person who's wearing a giant diving suit, a la the cover art of the game. So we'll see who the hell those guys or person is. I don't even know. But once we get into the city...
Just don't hurt me. Just let me go. You my gun.
I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to question Providence. I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive. Now keep on moving. We're gonna have to get you to higher ground.
So this is the part I remember vividly when I first played it, was this person with hook for hands, I guess, attacking this man. For me thinking, okay, this is going to be a really creepy game. So I got to strap in here. Looks pretty scary. Don't know exactly what it is, but it's nice to have someone on our side here. We talk to Atlas, who radios us and tells us that he's going to try to keep us safe. So that's good. We have to go up to higher ground, but this whole initial scene here must have given you the heebie-jeebies, Cam.
Absolutely. Okay. Firstly, they're selling this wrong, because when you're diving down, you're seeing like casinos, you're seeing like cocktails, you're seeing bars. And then it's like, you hear this voice like, hey, you may want to leave. And hey, can you save us as well?
Yeah.
Like, what? Also, what happened to do we believe that Jack is the only survivor? I'm really curious if there's other
Could be.
survivors from the plane crash as well.
I hope they're good swimmers. That's all. At this point too, there's creepy noises everywhere. There's like murmuring from people. I don't know where it's coming from. So we almost get attacked by something called the Splicer. But Atlas helps us out in what seems to be some sort of like drone or something. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It shoots at the Splicer. And we finally grab our first weapon, a crowbar. Cam, do you like Splicers?
Heck no. I saw this and I'm like, I kind of squinted my eyes a bit. I was like, no, I don't want to look. Because I just felt like, especially when the Splicer was like at the top of the elevator, I'm like, oh man, this Splicer is going to get in here and I don't have a vehicle. Meanwhile, Alice is telling me to get a weapon. Where am I getting a weapon from when I'm stuck in this elevator with a Splicer trying to get in? Like, I was just the stress, anxiety was high, man. Anxiety was high. But yeah, finally you get out, you get that crowbar, and I kind of do like just the melee of it all. Like, it just has a heaviness to it and a grittiness to it. So I was a fan.
Well, we do get to use that crowbar and fight off our first Splicer. It's kind of scary, but if you can deal with it, deal with it. We also then end up to some sort of red liquid pit stop with a statue of a little girl. I'm not entirely sure what it is. And there's a serum that we somehow pick up with a needle. And Jack just automatically goes for it and injects himself.
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some Adam on him. Let's fuck. Weak! You're a weak chopper. This little fish ain't worth towing it with no big daddy. Yellow, always have been. You'll be no better off with a metal daddy, little fish. See you floating from my
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel. I can see light coming from his belly. Wait a minute, he's still breathing. It's all right. I know he'll be an angel soon.
You alright, boyo? First time plasma's a real kick from a mule, but there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?
Okay, so what just happened? We injected ourselves with serum. Way to go, Jack. Didn't even know what's going to happen, but it kind of scrambled our DNA. We now have lightning powers, as Atlas just said, but I want to get to this Mr. Bubbles and this creepy little girl.
Mr. Bubbles.
What the hell or who the hell is that?
I don't know, but my thing is like I was seeing everyone like walk past Jack. And it seems like the little girl is saying like he's not an angel, or he is an angel. She thinks he's an angel, but then he's going to become an angel when she realizes he's not. He's still breathing. So do they only like it? Because it seems like they attack. Do they only attack people who have this thing that Jack put in him? Like, I was just confused because I was like, why wouldn't they attack him? Like, even the splicers, why wouldn't they attack him?
Yeah.
If he's on the floor? Especially with that first splicer that we saw and then the one that we knocked out. I was so confused. Like, is it because he has this fluid in him that he's like becoming, or like they like him more, or like they're... It seems like this is similar to that poster that you mentioned, the ad that was playing...
Mm-hmm. The fire one?
Plasmids, right? So I'm guessing that that liquid gives them the ability that was in that poster. But then I don't know what about like this character, this little girl in this huge mech that, or this person in this like suit that like makes them not want to attack Jack.
To me, it sounded like, I'm not sure about the splicers and why they mentioned something about the Big Daddy will deal with it, or they don't want to entice the Big Daddy or something, which I'm guessing is, Mr. Bubbles, because he looks like a big ass daddy. Don't quote me on that one. But it seems like with the little girl, she's saying that he's going to end up dead anyway. So we don't need him yet. It just seemed like she wants him, if she's going to do something, it's him being dead.
He has to be dead.
Yeah, and she went to go check to see if he was dead, but he's still alive. So don't understand exactly, but that she's basically saying that he's going to die anyway.
So I guess anyone that takes this liquid dies eventually.
That or they get killed. Like the splicers are killing everyone as well.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of questions that we probably need some sort of answers yet, but it was pretty cool to see the Big Daddy and the little girl.
So creepy. And these are the characters we were talking about. They're on the front of the box. The box art, right? So like these are this is specifically the reason why I didn't want to play this game. And this girl's still giving me that vibe like, oh, I should have just said nope and took a left turn out of here.
We're going to probably have to fight them too, right? So it's like, oh God, I don't want to fight these people. But we got our lightning power, which is really cool to hopefully use. As we move closer to higher ground, we encounter more splicers to deal with until we get to an elevator and talk to Atlas once more.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe. I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find my family, please.
All right, buddy. Let me get something straight here. I just survived a plane crash. I don't know what the hell this place is. I don't know what's going on, okay? I just put some serum in my body. I got electricity powers right now. All right. These splicer people are coming after me to kill me. I don't know what's going on. I got a goddamn crowbar, whatever it is. This guy's like, I'll help you. And then he's like, actually, I need you to help save my family. I have no obligation to do so whatsoever. Get out of my face, Atlas. That's my first thought. Who the hell are you to tell me what to do? I'm Jack. All right. I just survived a goddamn plane crash in the water. Then I had to swim to my safety. Can you give me 2 seconds to understand where the hell and what the hell I'm doing?
Hey, come on, Atlas. Who are you? I don't even know you. Did you give me a present? Because my parents did. I would help them.
Where's my present?
Where's the present, actually? I got to open that up at, I think it was 6 p.m. It's on the box or something like that. But yeah, this is a very weird, I don't want to say it, but I don't trust Atlas.
We are episode 1. We're already there.
Because, okay, this is the thing. Like Atlas says, yeah, I have my family in here, but the splicers cut me off from them. So that means Atlas is here as well.
Right. Yes, he is.
But if you're here, why would you leave your family to fend for themselves when you know?
Well, we don't know entirely.
I mean, it just seems a little too convenient.
Well, I found it funny. He's just like, you might seem like you're the most unluckiest man in the world. And like the violin starts playing too.
I know. Yeah.
And
it's
then
like, cry me a river. Yeah.
You might have the worst problems ever, but I need you to save my family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I feel like he has a soundboard during like wherever he's, putting these radio waves out. He has a soundboard for the violin just to tell his sad story, to try to get people to buy in here, where I wouldn't be surprised if he's luring people here for a bigger cause. Like, is he actually Ryan? This Anthony, what is the guy? Andrew Ryan? Is he Andrew Ryan?
Anthony Ryan.
I was like, Anthony Ryan, Andrew Ryan. What are names back in the 40s, 50s? What names were common? Andrew.
Yes.
Is he him? I don't trust it. You just met this person. How come he's putting so much trust into us?
Well, the reason,
or is it he's just so
it.
desperate? He's so desperate.
He's so desperate. But if I'm Jack right now, I'm just concerned about my lightning powers, surviving, and getting my fingernails fixed. Like, that's the only thing.
Now he has these lightning powers, and we know he's a nail biter. He's gonna be shocking himself so much.
Ow! Ow!
Ow! Ow!
Yeah. Yes, that's a good point.
Anxiety's high. That's when you're going to be biting those nails. Worst
true.
case scenario. Now you have lightning to worry about.
He might kill himself, and that's the end of the game. So we never know.
That should be the death scene in this game. Him just biting his nails.
I want to do an Irish lad. I can't do it. No, I just because
we're going to offend so many people because it'll be so bad.
Atlas is like, I just wanted you to help my family, and now you just bit your fingernails off and killed me. That's English, but whatever. I can't do it right now. My family.
You
whatever.
tried.
Anyway, so we have to go to Neptune's bounty. That's where Atlas asks us to go. There's this little creepy scene where we see a mother who looks like she's crying to a baby carriage.
Oh
but
my gosh.
We kill her and then realize it's a gun.
That scene is so messed up because you see the shadow.
Yes.
Right? And then I'm like, oh no, let me get my crowbar. Which hand? I gotta make sure I'm fast. So I'm practicing my hits with the crowbar to make sure I'm ready to go. Because I'm getting closer. And then I knock this woman out and she's just she's crazy. She thinks her baby is this gun, which hey, I now have a gun.
Exactly.
But it's really sad.
It is sad, but then
lady.
we have the best weapon, which is a gun and our electric power. So now we can help Atlas because we got our ammo. We're ready to go. Atlas also says that the plasmid powers basically changed everyone. So this society used to be good, I guess. And then because they started using these plasmid powers, it changed everybody. It warped everybody.
Yeah.
And so they started fighting themselves. I think you mentioned babies were being strangled. They basically just ruined their cognition at some point. I guess the scrambling of DNA probably didn't help.
See, I told you I didn't trust Andrew Ryan. He has 3 names.
No,
I don't trust him.
Andrew Ryan is not Atlas, but you don't trust Atlas. But you also don't trust Andrew Ryan.
I don't trust. I told you I don't trust this cult-like leader and this underwater paradise he built. That just screams bad news. And Andrew Ryan.
Yeah.
Andrew Ryan, I don't trust it. I don't. It's 2 first names.
Never trust anyone with 2 first names.
Never trust a character with 2 first names, okay? But he was selling us that poster for the Incinerate poster to get this plasmid power, and obviously it didn't go well. So that means that this city has been here for quite some time, I'm guessing. And it's why would these believers in what Andrew Ryan was selling them came down to live in this city, but people go crazy.
Underwater.
It's a Dr. Frankenstein thing.
Yeah.
They go crazy. Don't seek answers in places you don't know. Underwater.
All right, well, Cam doesn't trust literally anyone right now, so we'll see what happens. As we move further, guess who we see? It's the little girl again, who is, I guess, harvesting dead people.
You think that's a child down there? Don't be fooled. She's a little sister now. Somebody went and turned a sweet baby girl into a monster. Whatever you thought about right and wrong on the surface, well, that don't count for much down in Rapture. Those little sisters, they carry Adam, the genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture turning. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it.
This is creepy. I just realized she said teddy bears.
Yeah, like, why did we keep that audio? I am going to scream after this because now I'm going to feel like I hear that everywhere. Teddy bears.
Tell the producers. Well, I always remember 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Okay, see, this is why I didn't want to play this game.
All right,
the
it's just our
creepiness.
audio version. We're not even playing the game right now, Cam. Get it together.
But I have to play this game later,
Yes.
the next episode. Anyways.
So Atlas tells us that these are little sister. All right. And she basically used to be, someone's daughter, but has been warped into this, whatever it is. And she's harvesting Adam genetic materials that everyone seems to want. I'm not entirely sure what exactly this is. I know you were confused throughout this whole first chapter, but it looks like these little sisters are harvesting things. I guess the powers from people is what I'm assuming that it is.
I guess it's Adam that Jack injected himself with, right? In order to get that power. And then she's harvesting that?
And that's like you can buy it off the shelf?
I mean, hey. It gets the wheels of Rapture turning, as Atlas puts it, right? Like, This is what everyone wants, so it makes sense that there'd be literal vending machines for it. So I guess that's what it does, and that makes sense to why she was saying, like, Jack is still alive. He's not an angel yet, because it probably makes it easier for her to harvest when the person's dead rather than trying to fight them for their Adam, right?
Makes sense. But, I mean, if you see in this cutscene right here, the big daddy and the little sister. So Splicer goes after the little sister, and the big daddy shows up, Mr. Bubbles, I'm assuming, and basically annihilates this Splicer. So if she wanted to take down Jack in that moment, I'm pretty sure she could have with Mr. Bubbles.
Yeah, I guess she could have. But maybe she doesn't, like, it doesn't seem like she controls. Like, I'm curious about their relationship as well.
No, it does. It seems like, I protect, like, the big daddy has to come protect.
Yeah, but I don't
sister.
think she controls the big daddy, right? Like, I feel like for some reason, like, there's a bond between the two of them.
But she did the scream where she's like, ah! And then the big daddy showed up.
Yeah, because I think the big daddy's just like, oh, crap, she's screaming. But, like, is it that they have a bond? Like, is the big daddy like, oh, crap, she's in danger, let me protect her? Like, I'm just curious on that, too.
Yeah, it could be a bond, or the scream could be controlling the big daddy. One or the other.
Oh, maybe this. But then why wouldn't it control other people around her to protect her?
I don't know. I don't know what the powers are. We still haven't figured that out yet.
All I know.
You don't trust me.
The fact that this big daddy, like, just pushes his whole mech suit into that splicer, I was like, oh, crap, it's about to go down. And then it asks you, the game is like, save.
Yeah.
By the way, here's how to save. And this is when I was like, okay, let me get my crowbar out. Let me make sure I have the pistol out. Is everything reloaded? Can I, like, use it quickly? Because then you have to break the lock. And I was just like, oh, no, it's about to go down. I'm going to have to face this big daddy now.
Luckily, though, you don't have to face the big daddy. However, once we get to Neptune's bounty, we get ambushed by a bunch of splicers. And this is really our big first test of the game, where we have to take down a bunch of splicers. No big daddies, luckily. We also can use the terrain. There is water around, and we can use it to electrocute the water and take down the splicers.
But don't stand in the water.
Don't, because that'll...
While you electrocute
did that, didn't you?
this... I so did that. Yeah.
That's 101 gameplay.
I know. I was like, oh, this is beautiful water. Let me splash around in this puddle. Oh, crap, a splicer. Let me electrocute it while I'm standing in this puddle. Don't do that. That is not good.
That's why we play the games. And then you guys listen and take our advice, which seems pretty straightforward to not step in the water. But, you never know. Once you do what Atlas tells you to do to get to Neptune's bounty, we find out that Andrew Ryan has closed off the opening to get inside, and Atlas yells at us to find a new way through the medical pavilion. So it seems like Atlas and Andrew Ryan are at some sort of head here, because Andrew Ryan knows exactly what we're doing. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, and I guess he's alive. Like I didn't know if he was alive.
I thought he was dead.
I just thought he was dead.
I agree with you too.
I thought he was dead because I'm like, oh, you see the statue like in a monument.
In memoriam. Yeah.
Yeah, in memoriam for him. I was just like, oh, that's probably like the founder, but this place has probably been here for some time. Right. But yeah, I guess he's still alive in some sense. And yeah, now you know who is I guess like who's the good guy and the bad guy.
Potentially.
Although I don't trust either of them. So I'm kind of at odds right now. I don't know. I will say, though, when we were fighting off all these enemies, did you go into the bathrooms?
Yes. Also very creepy.
So creepy. I went to the washroom. I went to the
washroom.
I went to the bathroom in this section, both of them, and you could turn on the sink, like water and
toilet.
Flush the toilet.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the purpose is, but I did that, and then a splicer comes at you. Turn back around. I saw a shadow of I swear it was a little sister running, and I was like, oh crap, here we go. And I didn't have to face a little sister or Big Daddy, but it still was there. So I think this game is just trying to spook us with the shadows.
There was also an audio message there if you listen to it, and the guy was like, it stinks in here, clean your shitter or something like that. And I thought that was funny, especially how scared I was at the time. I thought I was gonna poo my own pants while I was in this bathroom. Just kidding, not really. But as we talked about, Andrew Ryan, I guess, is alive. I also thought he was dead. But guess what, Cam? We get a message from the big boss himself.
So tell me, friend, which one of the bitches said to you, the KGB wolf or the CIA jackal? Here's the news. Rapture isn't some sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell, or
So Andrew Ryan thinks that we are either American or Russian. We're some sort of military, CIA, the KGB, whatever it is, I guess trying to shut him down.
But then who is Andrew Ryan then?
Well, he just seems like an American socialite.
Yeah.
Who wanted to create this. We don't know who Jack is though. So maybe we are a CIA agent and we have no idea. But I have it's interesting. It's also interesting to see buddy, do you not see how messed up your world is right now? Your city is in ruins and you're still trying to protect it and saying get out of my city, CIA.
Or maybe he does thrive on the chaos of it. Is this not necessarily a social experiment and a safe haven for people, but more of a science experiment to see the effects of plasmid, right? And maybe it was being missold to people as this haven, and he was injecting them with plasmid, and those classic villainy-esque thoughts just started coming into my mind. I will say, obviously, because all the splicers show up after, he has either some way to control splicers or I guess just control the access to everything in Rapture.
Yeah, so what exactly is he doing here? Because he has the splicers to attack us. But obviously his city is in ruins. So what kind of power or control does he have?
Yeah, is he actually in control right now? To us, it just looks like chaos? I'm curious.
So are the little sisters under his command?
Or maybe he's just commanding the experiment, it's kind of it's his own little lab and he has it contained and under control.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
And we don't have a lot of answers. But Atlas does help us at the end of this chapter and gets us through a door so we escape all the splicers. But I don't really know what's going to happen next because it goes to black, and that's the end of chapter 1, which is a spine-tingling way to end this crazy chapter. And I think Cam is already hooked on this game because there are a lot of questions and we have no answers. We're going to try to figure it out. We're going to dissect how or what Rapture truly is next on AutoSave.
Another New Year's, another night alone. I'm out and you're stuck in Hephaestus, working. Huh. Imagine my surprise. I guess I'll have another drink. Here's a toast to Diane McClintock, silliest girl in Rapture. Silly enough to fall in love with Andrew Ryan. Silly enough. What happened? I'm bleeding. Oh God. What's happening?
So Cam, this gives us a lot of more information here. We hear from an audio diary. You can collect them throughout the game here, learn a little bit more about what's going on. And this is one, I highlighted this one specifically where we learn a lot more and then maybe some of our questions can be somewhat answered here. We hear an audio message from Diane on New Year's. It looks like everything is still A-OK here in Rapture. They're celebrating New Year's. It's all cool. She's in love with Andrew Ryan, but upset about something. But it doesn't matter because it looks like someone like explodes a wall or comes in with violence. I don't know exactly what happens. The party has crashed. But what we hear, Cam, this is very important for you, is long live Atlas, death to Ryan. So now I have a question of who is Atlas, because before we're thinking he's just a guy who wants to save his family, but now it's a whole layer where it looks like this guy's his competition or somebody.
I don't trust him. I mean, yeah, it seems like firstly, Diane sounds like a great soul.
Well, she died.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it seems like maybe I don't even know if Atlas is this guy's name. I know he says my name's Atlas, but like, what if it's like more like a symbol? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I like. Long live Atlas. Is it like maybe like people who want to leave Rapture or like are against? I don't know.
They're against
whatever
Andrew Ryan, whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever Andrew's doing. And it's like more like of a symbol of like that group. But this now introduces another motive for Atlas as to whether he actually cares about the people in Rapture or whether he's just being selfish and like all hell broke loose and now he needs to get out because maybe he stirred the pot a little bit too much.
I don't know. This one to me seems like either military competition or like some sort of power struggle.
Well, yeah, but like for what, right? Like, is it that they both have, like, one has good intentions and the other doesn't? Or is it that they just both have bad intentions?
To me, though, it comes down to the powers, right? I feel like, again, all these powers have something to do with it, whatever it is. Control the powers. I have no idea. But we're going to find out. But good on you for not trusting Atlas because clearly there's something going on that we don't know about who this guy actually is. So to me, both Andrew and Atlas seem like bad guys at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I don't trust either of them.
Let's see where it goes. Overall, Cam, your thoughts first time playing chapter 1. What did you think of this game going in?
It's so fun. I actually enjoyed like going back to a game that's a bit older and like I'm playing it on Xbox, my Xbox Series X, and I bought it like it was on sale where you get the whole collection. So I'm actually very much invested in hoping to like this game so I could play the rest of the collection because I have it. And because it's remastered, the graphics don't bother me And like I said, I liked the water sprinkling at the beginning with the plane crash. So like there's certain aspects that are still beautiful. Don't get me wrong. They won't like blow you away, but like they still are like, you could see the beauty that they were trying to bring out. One of the things I really, really enjoyed is just the looting in this game. Like I could loot things forever. So I like picking things from the garbage can, the cabinets, from shelves, on the floor, looting slicers, and just trying to find items and first aid kits and ammo and Eve, whatever that is, in order to, like, I just like that whole process. So like I'm looking in every single corner to make sure I don't miss anything. And through that, you do find like these great audio diaries and like little posters that add so much to, I think, the world so far. And like, this is just the first chapter.
I remember when I first played this game, and it all came back to me playing it again, which is how many trash cans I literally checked. There would be like a splicer back there, and I know it's coming. I'm like, wait, I got to check these 3 trash cans first, okay?
Yeah.
Let me check these bad boys. But it is good in terms of like ammo, and I know in this game specifically, it's hard to come by. Like you can't just, like the guns, you don't have unlimited ammo that you can just shell out. You have to find this. It's very much like rationed, which I like that aspect too. It doesn't make it easy for you, which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
But overall for you, the look, feel as well, like to me, this game's still, 10 plus years later.
Yeah.
It
looks pretty good.
It looks great, and it's fun, and the remastered version's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I will say though, and this may just be a me thing, when you hear other characters talking that are in the room, so not Atlas, but like the splicers, you hear them saying things, like I found it really hard to hear them. So I don't know if that's a me thing. I do fidget when I'm in a room, and like if a character's talking, I move around, partially because I'm always scared that it's going to be like a slicer around the corner, or I'm like looting. So it may just be that I'm far away from those other characters, like the NPCs, so I don't hear their audio, but it was hard for me to listen. And because it's an old game, it doesn't default with subtitles, or it doesn't ask you at the beginning of the game if you want subtitles on or off. So then I was just like, oh, they don't have subtitles, but they do have subtitles. You just have to go into the menu and turn them on.
It reminds me of when we played Halo, when the sound of the enemies never correlated to where they were. It's the same thing with this game, where you may hear something to the left of you, but they're actually to the right.
Yes.
So that is part of the things that confused me as well. So I understand your pain, but hopefully the subtitles helped and you can understand what's going on more. Want to rewind back to the question of the day here, by the way.
All right.
So after this chapter, what we know now, has your answer changed from the beginning? I'm going to say obviously no, considering how hell on earth this place is.
Hell diggity no. However, it is quite beautiful environment without the killing and the murderers and like the craziness of it all.
The wet carpet. Yeah.
The white, it probably does smell very musky in there, but yeah, no, I would not. Like, I don't want to, like the fact that the person helping us may be sus, and then you have this like evil leader also who looks like Adam Gomez, or
who's Adam Gomez?
Well,
Gomez Adams.
Like, Adam Gomez. I'm like Adam Gomez. Gomez Adams. I was like reading it as though it was on like a government sheet, like with last name first. But yeah, he does look like a member, like Gomez from the Addams Family.
I agree. Yeah, he does.
Especially his mustache.
Yes.
Very much Gomez Adams. But yeah, like no, I would not live here.
When you said Adam Gomez, I literally thought like my mind went to Wizards of Waverly Place. And I thought like, who's Selena Gomez's brother in that show? That's who I thought you were talking about.
No, but apparently he's a senator in the States. So there you go. Does not look like Andrew Ryan at all.
Also to me, like if you add someone with a creepy like 1930s, 40s voice, like Andrew Ryan, combined with like classical like 40s music, always a recipe of creepiness is my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree.
We're going to have to deal with it because we're going to go through this entire game with a lot of creepy music, a lot of creepy Andrew Ryan, Gomez Adams. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen with Jack because we were left on a cliffhanger. I hope he's okay, and I hope he tells Atlas that, hey, buddy, I got to do my own thing. But you're going to have to wait and see next time on AutoSave. AutoSave is produced and hosted by Camille Salazar-Hadaway and myself, Nick Andrade. The show is also produced by Dylan Wilson. Gameplay and additional elements provided by Chris Seitzer. Technical production by Kevin Hilsden. Executive producer, Clayton Hansler. You can follow the show at AutoSave Podcast on Twitter and AutoSave Pod on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. You can subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it right now, and if it happens to be Apple Podcasts, kindly leave us a rating and review, but only if it's good. AutoSave is a Soda original, hosted on the Soda Podcast Network.